Ladies and gentlemen, life has a beautiful way of reminding us that everything begins within us. The way we feel, the way we act, and the way we respond to the world outside it all stems from the energy we carry inside. Too often, we find ourselves pouring energy into people who do not value it, chasing things that are not meant for us, and investing our hearts in places that give nothing back. But the truth is, when you learn to focus on yourself, when you learn to redirect and shift your energy, that is when you begin to transform your life. That is when you stop seeking validation and start creating it within yourself. And that is when the world begins to notice a stronger, more grounded, and more radiant version of you. So, today, I want to share with you 5 powerful reminders that can change the way we live. 5 reminders that can teach us how to protect our energy, how to value ourselves, how to grow from pain, how to discipline our focus, and how to celebrate the beauty of this journey we call life. 1. Value your own presence more than anyone else's approval. When you start valuing your own presence, you no longer feel desperate for anyone else's approval. The world often conditions us to live for the applause of others, but applause is temporary, it fades quickly, and then you are left searching again. But when you anchor yourself in your own presence, when you walk into a room not to be seen, but because you know you are enough, that is when everything changes. The glow of self-respect cannot be dimmed by silence or rejection. It takes courage to stop living for validation, but courage is born when you realize that nothing is more powerful than standing in your truth. Approval comes and goes, opinions change like seasons, but your authenticity will always remain. People may not always understand your choices, they may even criticize you, but their acceptance is not your fuel. Your fuel is your inner alignment with who you are becoming. Imagine how light your heart feels when you no longer carry the weight of proving yourself. Imagine the freedom when you stop bending yourself just to fit into the expectations of others. That kind of freedom is priceless. It comes when you whisper to yourself, I matter, I am enough. That whisper will always be louder than 1,000 voices outside telling you otherwise. When you value your own presence, you begin to see that your energy attracts what belongs to you. You don't have to chase friendships, relationships, or opportunities. They flow naturally to a person who radiates self-worth. And even if some doors remain closed, you understand that closed doors are also protection. Because the more you focus on yourself, the more clarity you gain about who belongs in your life and who doesn't. Every single time you honor your presence, you build a shield around yourself that no rejection can break. You become unshakable not because life is perfect, but because your focus is no longer scattered. You are rooted in yourself, and that makes you unstoppable. 2. Protect your energy like a treasure. Your energy is not limitless. It is sacred, and it deserves to be protected. Think about how often you spend it on things that don't grow you, on endless arguments, on people who drain your spirit, on situations that add no value to your journey. Every time you invest in negativity, you lose a piece of your own strength. That is why protecting your energy is not an option, it is survival. You are not meant to give your energy to everyone. Not everyone deserves access to your spirit. Just like you wouldn't give your most valuable possession to anyone who asks, you must not give your peace to anyone who demands it. Your peace is your sanctuary. Your energy is your shield, and both must be guarded with love. Protecting your energy means creating boundaries. It means saying no when your heart feels heavy, even if it disappoints someone else. It means walking away from conversations that only feed gossip and bitterness. It means surrounding yourself with people who don't just take, but who also give back light and kindness. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors that you choose to open only when it feels right. When you protect your energy, you begin to notice how life feels lighter. You wake up with more clarity. Your mind feels less cluttered, and your soul feels more alive. You no longer carry the weight of everyone's expectations. Instead, you invest in things that nurture you: books, prayers, reflections, nature, and conversations that lift your spirit. The truth is, when you protect your energy, you create space for miracles. You create room for growth, for creativity, for healing. And that is the kind of energy that transforms not just your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Because when your energy is whole, your presence becomes healing. 3. Turn pain into power. Pain is something we all experience, but what defines us is how we respond to it. Some allow pain to break them, others allow it to build them. Pain has the power to drain your energy, but it also has the power to awaken the strongest version of you. It all depends on where you choose to focus. Do you focus on what was lost? Or do you focus on what you can learn? When you start seeing pain as a teacher, your energy shifts. Every heartbreak becomes a lesson in strength. Every rejection becomes a reminder of your resilience. Every failure becomes a stepping stone towards wisdom. The question is never, why did this happen to me? But rather, what is this teaching me about myself? That shift in mindset is where growth begins. Turning pain into power doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. It means embracing them, feeling them, and then using them as fuel. Your tears don't make you weak. They water the seeds of transformation. Your scars don't make you broken. They make you a warrior who carries proof of survival. Every single time you rise after pain, you reclaim your power. You remind yourself that you are not defined by what happened to you, but by how you chose to respond. And in that moment, your energy stops being heavy and starts becoming radiant. You become a magnet for strength, for courage, for inspiration. Pain is not the end of your story, it is the turning point. When you allow pain to transform you, you unlock a version of yourself that you never knew existed. That version of you walks with unshakable faith, speaks with deeper wisdom, and lives with a fire that no storm can extinguish. 4. Practice self-discipline over distractions. In a world full of distractions, discipline is the highest form of self-love. Everywhere you look, there are temptations pulling you away from your purpose, social media, endless comparisons, the urge to fit in. But discipline is the art of saying yes to your future by saying no to your distractions. It is the commitment to choose growth over comfort. Self-discipline is not about living a restricted life. It is about aligning your energy with what truly matters. It is about waking up early to work on your dreams even when your body craves more sleep. It is about setting boundaries with yourself, reminding your mind not to wander into negativity, reminding your heart not to settle for less than it deserves. When you practice discipline, you become the master of your energy. You stop wasting it on things that take you nowhere. You begin to direct it like a laser towards your goals. And with each small act of discipline, you build a life that feels intentional. That kind of focus doesn't just bring success, it brings peace. Discipline is also the foundation of self-respect. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust within. That trust becomes a shield against doubt and fear. You no longer depend on motivation alone because discipline keeps you moving even when motivation fades. And the beautiful thing about discipline is that it multiplies your energy. The more you focus, the more clarity you gain. The more you say no to distractions, the more you open doors for opportunities that align with your journey. Discipline is not a burden, it is the bridge between where you are and where you are destined to be. 5. Celebrate your journey, not just the destination. Too often we wait for big milestones to celebrate ourselves. We wait for the dream job, the recognition, the success, the applause. But life is not just about the destination. It is about the journey. Every small step matters. Every little victory deserves celebration. When you shift your energy towards gratitude for progress, you realize how beautiful your path truly is. Celebrating your journey means appreciating the days when you simply kept going, even when it was hard. It means honoring the times when no one noticed your effort, but you still showed up. It means looking back and realizing that even if you are not yet where you want to be, you are far from where you started. When you celebrate your journey, you stop comparing it to others. You understand that everyone's path is different and yours is exactly as it should be. You stop rushing, you stop forcing, and you begin to trust the timing of your life. That trust frees your energy from anxiety and replaces it with peace. Gratitude is the key that unlocks joy. When you focus on gratitude for your journey, your energy shifts into abundance. You stop seeing life as a race and start seeing it as a gift. And in that shift, happiness no longer depends on what you achieve tomorrow, but on what you appreciate today. The journey becomes lighter, the road becomes brighter, and every step begins to matter. And when you finally reach the destination, you realize that the real treasure was never the goal, it was the person you became along the way. In the end, life transforms the moment you decide to shift your energy inward. When you stop pouring yourself into empty places, when you stop chasing after approval, and when you start valuing the presence within you, everything begins to change. Focusing on yourself is not about selfishness, it is about survival, healing, and growth. It is about realizing that the most powerful relationship you will ever have is the one you build with yourself. And when you nurture that relationship, when you protect your energy, and when you walk with discipline and gratitude, you begin to create a life that radiates strength and peace. This journey is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming whole. It is about turning pain into power, choosing focus over distractions, and learning to celebrate every step of your path. The moment you shift your energy inward, you stop being controlled by the noise of the world and start being guided by the voice within. And that is when you rise, not because life became easier, but because you became stronger, more resilient, and deeply aligned with your purpose.